So, our next speaker is an expert in bringing and strategies into practice. He has built already 2 companies before, and he's a partner of Reply. Reply is a data science company and data engineering company, and what they do is to bridge the gap between business value, creating business value, and technology. So, last year they started with 15 employees, they closed the year with 40 employees, and now they have 50 employees. So yes, he's an expert in that. Please come on stage, Daniel Wajngarten from Reply.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching.
Guys, it's a very privilege to be here. It's like a time machine. It's like yesterday. I think we have microphone here a little bit. It was like yesterday when I was sitting on the other side, full with hope, asking myself how is going to be the future. But to be honest, I have a small problem because I lost my opening. Everybody, when he's doing a presentation, wants to do an opening to call the attention of the people and to make a joke. And I lost my opening on the 8th of July 2014. What happened in that day? I'll give a hint. Estádio do Mineirão, Minas Gerais, Brazil. Because I used to start. My name is Daniel Wajngarten. I have a Dutch-Brazilian background. I am a partner of Data Reply, and I do data engineering. But since the 8th of July of 2014, everybody, when you talk about Brazil, they remember the 7-1. And if you are in Germany, they remember you every day about the 7-1. I am buying a kebab in, you Brasiliana, you 7-1, what happened in that day? I was not playing, guys. I'm too fat to play, you know. I was not there. I was in my cellar watching movies. I have nothing to do. Just a correction for what she said. Data Reply is a company from the Reply Group. The Reply Group has around 5,000 employees, 6,000, sorry. And there are many companies connected to each other. We're going to talk about that. So that's the first point, Reply, who you are. Then let's begin with that. So basically, Reply was founded like every startup. 1996, 10 people, a garage company, wanted to do consultants. They did a great job. You know, 20 years later, around 6,000 employees, around 780 million last year about revenues, growing between 20 and 20% every year. You know, and everybody working in this group have fun. And why we have fun? First, we are present everywhere. We are present in Germany, Italy, UK, several cities, America, Asia with China, Russia. That means you have to deal with international people every day. Second, about the customers. We have cool customers everywhere. Different areas, different industries, banking, automotive, etc. And then we have the power of the network. There are 100 companies, not bigger than 80 people, specialized in a technology. That means when you go to the customer, we know what you're talking about because you only do this topic. You do SAP, you do Microsoft, you do big data, you do machine learning, you do Google, you do Amazon. And you're specialized. That means you always bring the new technology to the customer, yeah, in terms of consultancy. And if you need other colleagues technology that we don't have in domain in the company that we have, you go to the other network company and you ask the colleagues that are specialized at. So what happened to me? It was the second company I did there. I was bored. So, two alternatives. When you're bored, in my age, you do some things to break the board. So, you get a Mac. But I thought, a Mac is not a good idea. You have to carry dongles everywhere with you. Did you see the new USB 3? Sorry, Apple boys. It's not a good an idea with the new Apple. Or you get a Porsche. But let's be honest, do you think I fit in a Porsche? Look at me, I will not fit in the Porsche. And I don't want to kill myself. So, Porsche, not a good idea. The other thing that's an option, you can get a lover. But I don't want to kill myself again. And I don't want to kill her again because, you know, when you're sleeping, you can roll over. Not a good idea. So I stand up one day with a partner of me and said, I want to do digitalization. I want to do something different. I want that my job makes a difference in the customers that I'm working with. I have to have a reason to stand up. I don't care if the company I'm working was doing 18 million. We have good profits. We are getting good bonus every day. We have great guys. But the technology was not new to me. We're doing like Oracle CRM. It's a very cool topic, but if you have been doing that the last 5 years, it's time to do something new. So let's do digitalization. We went and we talked to our boss, Tatiana, yeah, and I'm very grateful she could give us a chance. So let's do it, talk to the boss. And then she told, you do big data. So I heard about it. My first reaction was to go to Wikipedia and to make some research. And I found this here. And then I was in panic because, to be honest, so many technologies. And you have to decide which one you're going to offer to the clients. And you have to believe in them in order to go to the clients and to do a great job. So we had to create some things in order to achieve this, to be successful. What you did? So first of all, after we recover about the shock of all the technologies that we did, we talked to our guys. We have two young guys, the number 1 and the number 2 employees, and they knew one was a data science guy and the other guy was a data engineer with robotics. And he told us, okay, you should stick on open source. Don't listen that people are telling you to do about, at that time was 2 years ago, was Pivotal, it was Watson. They told me, Watson might be a good guy, but Sherlock has the answers. So open source, you have to bring the data to the company, and the companies have to understand what they're doing with the data. So we listened to our guys. What we did also, we focused, and what you did is something that I just discovered the name, you know. It's reverse coaching. Basically, you know, the young people, you guys, you know the technology that you believe. You know the technology that is going to work in the sector. And who am I to be arrogant to tell you which technology you're going to use it? So the pact was, in the reverse coaching, we teach you a little bit of business, how to do pitches, how to tell to the customer, how to behave, how to do consultancy. And we trust in the technology. So then we build our first offering. Basically, it's the offering in 2005. The offering, what you have to do about offering if you're doing consultant, you have to renew it. This is the first version. I'm not show the last version because there are things that are coming that I don't want to get it publicly. But basically, you do data-driven solutions with data engineering, and you do data science. And everybody in America, Americans, they like to specialize everything. And we said, okay, the market is so small in Germany about innovation in these areas. If you specialize, it's going to be very hard to point on consultants. I mean, specialize the specialization between data science and data engineering. We try to bring the both worlds together because we think this data science is a boom now, but we think that this explorative data science, this mental masturbation, give me your data, I will discover what is going on, is going to stop. Customer wants to have data-driven applications with algorithms running that bring monetary value in large scale. Discovery time is now 1 year going on very well, but I think another 2 years, but we have to bring solutions and added value to the customer. So we decided to do open source. We decided to do hybrid. That means on-premise and in the cloud, because Germans, sorry, they like to have the data in the cellar. I don't know why. Maybe it's a war thing, because if the war, I go to the cellar and I can protect myself. I don't know why. But instead of trying to fight it, you have to face the reality. You have to teach them about the cloud. You have to do hybrid architectures. But you have to adapt to reality and use all the cloud technology, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. By the way, Google, I take my hat from them. They are neighbors from us. Yeah, we always do exchange together. We do sales pitch together. It's very cool to work with these guys. So, this is the offering we did to the guys, but then we did a blueprint about the company. Yeah, how we want it to be. It's the third one we are doing. And then what we decide is the following thing. We want to have young people. Young people in the age and in their minds. There are people in your age that are older than me in terms of the mind. Yeah, because they are conformed about the situation, not fighting, and this kind of things. Multicultural. We got all the best brains wherever they are. We got, I flew last month, a guy from Saratov on the border to Kazakhstan. It was a cloud big data expert. Don't care, religion, race, where you come from. If you pass the test, you have the knowledge, and if the team accepts you, we can work for us. Cool. We wanted to have flat hierarchy compared with the other companies. The second one was cool, was multicultural, but it was very hierarchy, okay? Control, delete, sorry. Very big hierarchy. So we didn't want, it's the first time that me and my partner, we cannot hack anymore, because the technology is new, is changing. We decided to have this flat hierarchy, and in order to avoid micromanagement, you have to increase the technical level of the people. Therefore, we have very, very, very heavy tests. What else? We have investor. It's important to keep the investor calm in the beginning. When the investors see the money coming, you get more time to work. One of the things that you buy in a startup is time. So we chosen a niche technology in big data because we knew it's a cash cow. The money would come in. We would buy time, extra time to learn about the open source stuff and to learn how to place it to our customer. What else we did? We were very aggressive on internal market. It's 100 companies that reply. These 100 companies, they have many customers. They can place our offer in their customers. We pay a provision to the guys, to the other companies, to play us as a big data into the other customers. So instead of paying the usually 10% of provision for them to bring the deals, we pay 15. What else? No bullshit bingo. Demos. Look, Germans were the last to accept paper money. They were the last to accept banks. They were the last to accept credit cards. They are being the last to accept the cloud. They are being the last to accept mobile payment. So it's an engineering culture. They are the best engineers physics in the world, and they have to see the things working. That means, therefore, we brought demos. big data demos, show big data in the practice, show an application, tell me how it works. They will see it, and then they will grasp from the air what is going on. I remember the first meeting I have with the client, I start with the classical, at that time it was 4 V's, yeah? You know, variety, velocity, volume, and these kind of things. So I got kicked out, you know, of the sales speech, and I said, okay, guys, let's build a demo, because we have this experience before. You know, only slideware doesn't work fine. So, and we work with the vendors. From these pictures there, the big pictures, the guys told us which vendors we work. They told us Cloudera, Amazon, Microsoft, Hortonworks, MapR. Yeah? And then we work with the vendors to get access to clients also, and to get access to people. All fine, right? Niente fine. We broke it. We broke it. We screw up, basically. What happened? There was a mistake. We put the young people to start with the big data niche solution that was pre-packaged. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to do the open source stuff, not the package solution stuff. So, what to do? There were 2 ways. It was, I think, surely, if you have insisted, we will really have break it. So, we make a small correction in the blueprint. Small correction. I call all the headhunters anew, and I said, I need the #1 guy in Germany about this niche solution. Because this guy will bring eventually other guys to us, and then I can have the investor a little bit more calm, and then I build the time to build the open source offering. And then what happened, it has a double effect. I wrote 9 headhunters, and one of them found the #1. These guys brought 2 more, these 2 more brought 4 more, and then suddenly you have 10 people around in the beginning about this niche solution. So we got perceived as expert in this niche solution that was present in banks and some retails. This solution, the name is Ab Initio, by the way, is very cool. It was it was big data that started in the 90s, after the end of the Cold War. Yeah, they lost the Pentagon as their big customers, and then they have to do big data solutions for the people. It's very cool, but it was a niche mark, and we said where Ab Initio is present, there is data. Where is data, there will be a big data with open source. There will be data science, and that was, I think, the last correction that we need. So it was luck. Yes, it was luck, because there were 2 alternatives when you break it. You throw everything away, and you start with a new model. You young guys are the best to create new models. You create new models of business. You get the things fast. You create metrics, you know, to understand. You create algorithms. We old guys, we are a little more conservative to throw everything away and to start from zero. I don't know, maybe it's age. And someone, psychologist, said that this is normal. There is a research that is proving that. So, but let's be biased. Let's use common sense. Sometimes it's necessary to kick the model away. But sometimes a small correction makes a difference. We're lucky, the small correction worked. So, what I want to tell you, when you're young, sometimes, yeah, when I tried the first company, it started working, but before, we tried many that didn't work. We try to make the strategy planning, to know all the statistics, the market. Of course, a good business plan is important, but the strategy has to be simple, that it fits to a Beermat, and that you understand, like the blueprint that we did it. And then you have to correct a little bit some points of the Beermat. If after 2-3 corrections, throw the Beermat away and do another strategy that fits in the Beermat. You know, the business goes too fast that in order to have time to study the market. When you started, when you want a company, let's study the market. Let's do some marketing research. Let's do some statistics. All fine. But in this market where technology is changing too fast, I think we don't have time to do this kind of things. you have to keep it simple and stupid. So, one of the demos we did, we call Polpo. Polpo is the data, how we say krake in English? Octopus. Thank you very much. Octopus. It was a simple data collector with flexible connectors to different sources, to the nets, to database, and so on, that collects the data, put in one place in a data lake, does a sentiment analysis, and we have elastic search to search the data. What we did, we went to Motor Talk in Germany, because biggest customer from Reply are automotive. We get the data from Motor Talk. We did a sentiment analysis, and we chose the guys, the Germans. We show Sky, we show Volkswagen, and then they understand, oh, there is some business potential. For example, if I use that in my call center, and I analyze the complaints that the guys have in the call center, when the call center agent picks with the phone, he knows a little bit the mood about the guy who is calling, and he can act de-escalating. Yes, very cool, you got it. And then they begin to get the data, to get the cases itself. So, we had this Polpo demo. We built many of them. We built Colomba. I like Italian names, yeah. Colomba for proximity market. You know, we distribute mobile phones to the people. We stored in the cluster the sites that they visit more often. And then we made the suggestion, pseudo-suggestion for products when they are near the supermarket. In this case, we could show a big truck company that he could do that for their trucks for the inspection. We have got a big retail to get suggestion of bonus, for example, or a bonus company. That means they saw the things working. What you did, remember, you used the vendors. You did events together, yeah? We did events together with Google, with Cloudera, okay, with Polpo, and we got Payback. Payback is a big loyalty company in Germany. You use Polpo. Remember the power of the Reply network? We put Polpo in the Innovation Award. Reply has every year an Innovation Award. So we create this Polpo because most of the voters are Italians. The biggest amount of employees in Reply are Italians, therefore the Italian names. So create a QR code to go immediately to the voting place, and then we send chocolates, Rittersport, with the labels to all Reply office in the world, all, you know? So they knew there were some fuckers in Munich that are doing big data, and maybe they know what they're doing. So, and then the guys, oh, big data, they associate with positioning internal. It's about marketing positioning, yeah? Think big data, think data Reply. Aha, the customer is talking big data. Call the fat guy, he brings his freaks, and they can make the project with us. And then it got more and more and more. So that was really cool. By the way, we won the Innovation Award, yeah? But it was a lot of votes. We call all the partners and everybody to vote for us. But anyway, we won it, yeah? It worked. So, and now how we are today. So, we were profitable with this strategy. After 8 months, November, we made a profit of 10,000 euros. It was a party. But then in December, we broke the profitability again because we did a huge Christmas party to all the vendors, to all the consultants, to all the partners that help us throughout the year. And we have the tradition of the summer party and the Christmas party. We spent 40,000 euros in the Christmas parties, distribute gifts, but you know, that was important to place the brand inside the group. We're now 50 people, she said right, still growing, you know. We are not going to stop. If you start it like that, you cannot play it safe. You have to play it cool. And I am like they call it me partner, manager, director. The group is fantastic. I'm only that I work like a whore. 15, 16, 17 hours. I'm there to serve my guys. You know, they have to bring the geniality that they have to the customer. I have only to place them in the right light. It's never been so easy to sell. Because you just make the appointment with the customer, bring 3 of our guys, 3 of our architects, they talk to each other, the customer say, where can I sign? Okay, if you sign, now at the moment we start with you 7 months later because you have a small people problem. But it's the strategy, see the strategy working, you cannot stop this dynamic. If you play safe, you lose the dynamic. It's like a bicycle, then you fall. The forecast is 9 million, but I don't care about that, the money. And the profitability, believe me, is cool. We have 0 resignation, 0. No one resigned in these 2 years. And you know how many people, data science, are being searched at the moment, big data engineers. We created such a community in terms of knowledge, in terms of helping each other, because the guys, they know if they leave, they earn 20,000 more, 10,000 more, but they will lose this cool environment to develop themselves. That means, guys, money in the first job is not important. What is important is the first job is what you learn, okay? Now we are facing, because we are 50 people, we have to create business units. And of course, we have to keep the startup spirit, but you have to be organized like a normal company, not a startup, yeah? But the guys decide to do that. They said, it's getting too chaotic, let's create business units. For example, we delivered the first big data systems, and nobody knew how to operate because the Indian guys that normally do the operations for big systems, they didn't know the technology. The guy said, Danny, you have to do operations. So let's do operations. I got the operation guy, a 38 years old guy, that operates the biggest clusters in Germany, 2,000 nodes. The guy was operating this cluster. He has his team there. He's bringing the technical experience, and operations is going also very well as business unit. And one thing that's important, everybody talk bad about the generation Y, your generation. Don't listen to them. My time, my parents are also talking bad things about me. Hey, these guys, they paint their hairs in red, they like lambada, they talk English slangs, they don't even speak the language correctly, yeah? Everybody talk that the Y generation is not concentrated. It's not true. You're the first generation that grow up in the full digital world. That means you can do 4 things at the same time. You can be at Tinder, Instagram, you can send SMS, you can code, you listen these big headphones, listen to the music, and when you concentrate, you do one thing really in a good way. So, a bit about the philosophy of this generation, panem and circenses. You want to experience new things. We have to provide our guys new projects. That means the projects should not last forever. That means we have to stay maximum 6 months in a customer. So, in order to achieve this kind of thing and not have 0 resignation, we tell these customers, we don't want to stay forever. We bring you we teach you how to deal with your data. So we bring the consultant, when you get the speed, we go to the next one. But how to achieve that? We create the data incubator. Basically, the data incubator is a school for data science. You have the leaflets in front of you. That is a free program for people in the university, if you qualify, to be taught as a data science. Customers for us sponsor the program. That means, at the end of the day, you learn to be a data science for free, and then the customer gives you a project during the instruction, how a data science project. At the end of the program, the customer introduces themselves, or the sponsors introduce themselves to you, and you can apply. That means you solve 2 things. You release our consultants for the projects that's at the moment necessary. Customers are happy, and we don't have resignations. I will spring a little bit because I'm running out of time. Just about a little bit of advertising, if you want to apply. Photos, please, or is in the leaflet, just apply here. Some hints for you, okay? Old people love to teach old people and young people to do some hints. So, advice, be brave. You have less to lose what you think. You know, you live in paradise, Western Europe. Try to do these things. You're not going to be hungry. You know, try to do things. Second thing, improve your qualities. Everybody is saying improve your defects. No, don't let your defects kill you. It's important, but improve your qualities, because if you improve, you're going to be world class in what you're doing in terms of qualities. The other thing is find your style. Don't copy anyone. In the beginning of my career, I wanted to be the consultant like the McKinsey guy with gel in the hair, you know, being behavior like a robot. No, it's not my style. I use my hands to talk. I'm loud. You know, I'm politically incorrect sometimes. I have the luck that the time changed for it. Be patient and don't despair if things are not working. And pray for luck. Luck is important. But one thing you should remember, to get luck, you have to work hard. There is one last thing. I want to tell a story that maybe inspire you a little bit. Hello? Hello? Yes. It's about Dodo. Dodo was a bird living in New Zealand. He was in paradise. He has enough female and male. He can make children, enough food, enough space. Dodo has a problem. He was too heavy. To be honest, I have no problem with heavy creatures, yeah? But Dodo, the biggest problem for Dodo is that he didn't fly. It's a bird, can you imagine? A fucking bird that cannot fly? But it was surviving. But then what happened? The colonization from New Zealand brought cats and dogs. And then Dodo was in the hell, no paradise anymore. The cats and dogs were eating Dodo, and they were wishing, oh, if I could fly, it would be so nice, but it was too late. So, one thing for you, learn to fly, or at least try to fly. Try it. Do your own stuff, your own style. And at the last thing, you're so young, don't you worry, child.
Don't you worry, child. She has got a plan for you. Don't you worry now. Yeah.
These stories started here in the UK, which is why they're here today. But I love you guys gave these three guys. So for the last time ever in the UK, Milton Keynes, make some noise. The Swedish house.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so don't be a dodo. Don't be a dodo. Remember that. Remember that.